Cancers, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. This is Catherine with Oracle Intuitions, and this is going to be your mind, your heart, and message from Spirit reading for May 6th to the 13th. So this is going to be for Cancer placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, as well as cross watchers if you wish to watch. Please remember that these are general readings, so they're not going to resonate with everyone, but I do suggest you take a look at your other placements for a clearer view of the week ahead. Also, if you would like a personal reading, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com. And again, if this reading resonated with you, please click like, please subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are notified of other readings and when we do go live on this channel. All right, so we're going to start off with the energy of the mind. And this is going to be things that we may be focusing in on or external energies that could be brought to our attention over the next week. All right, so let's see what is happening here for our Cancer placements. First card coming in. Oh, we got two of them here. We're going to take them. First card coming in is we have the Death card. We also have the Reflect. And third card coming through is the Warrior. I feel like you guys are really, you may have gone into an energy that possibly had to do with a transition of some sort, okay? And it really feels like there's been a lot of growth is what I keep getting for you guys. There's a lot of growth that has happened for you over the past maybe few weeks, months. It could even possibly be, over the last year or so. It almost feels as though your energy has changed. And when I get that energy of the Warrior, I don't mean that you're standing up and fighting. I do get the energy of a better protection of yourself, okay, but also in this energy where maybe perhaps you feel like you don't have to fight. It's like you've gone into this energy of that reflection of your own personal needs, your own personal wants. But I'm also getting here is a different view of how you may be maybe looking at yourself. Okay, huge transition that's come through. This even could have to possibly do with the death of somebody, although usually the Death card really represents transition, moving from one energy to a next energy, or maybe even possibly manifesting a different energy of some sort. But I'm really getting, especially with this Warrior energy coming through, it's like you know which battles to choose to fight now. And I do feel that for some of you may have been in this energy, not that you wanted to fight everybody or you wanted to be in this place of complete protection or anything like that. But it just feels like you're letting some things go now. Like you don't feel like you have to constantly wear a suit of armor. That's what I'm getting. Again, the Warrior, a good Warrior knows which battles to choose. And I do feel that this possibly could have had to do because of your own self-reflection. So let's get some clarification and see what's coming in here, especially with that Death card. Let's see what's happening. First card, yeah, see, this is exactly it, the Judgment card. So you've really gone into yourself, all right? There's been a lot of looking inwards, and I don't just feel in regards to manifesting your goals or your dreams or anything like that. It's really looking into yourself and figuring out who you are. And this can really happen at any particular age. And this is what it feels like it's coming through. You might have even thought of yourself as one, in one particular way. But through self-reflection, especially with that Judgment card, we've got the reflection coming in. You're starting to not only recognize maybe perhaps different talents that you had, or different ways of viewing things. It's almost like your perception has changed in some way in regards to yourself. And again, because of this self-reflection, you're choosing the battles that you want to fight. Some battles you may be coming to that realization, like, I don't need to fight this. I don't need to be in this energy. I don't even need to focus on this issue anymore. Whereas before in the past, you may have, looked for the battles, right? Or you may have involved yourself in possibly gossip or allowing yourself to be irritated by somebody else's behavior. And now you're just like, no, this isn't for me. This doesn't belong to me. I don't need to involve myself in this. I'm just going to go in and self-reflect. And I feel like this is being, I feel, honestly, I feel like this is a validation from spirit for many of you. For some of you, this self-reflection could be coming up for you. But what I'm really getting is that there's a validation from spirit coming through here, basically saying, we value what you have done. And because of that, there's new energies coming in. And I do feel this transition that could be possibly happening for you. Because of that self-reflection, you may notice different things around you, especially, in your own personal space or your own personal world, where things are now starting to flow a little bit easier because that lack of resistance is there, especially with that warrior energy being, reduced, or again, just fighting the battles that you need to fight, whether they're inwards or whether they're external. So let's get another card here. Yeah, we've got the death card coming through again. Look at this, 2 death cards. So we've got this huge transition, and this is what I feel that spirit is validating or even congratulating you on. Okay. Again, I do feel that for some of you, this may have to do with a personal death, not your death, obviously. But, this could have had to do with the loss of somebody that brought you into this place. Because of that loss, you might have recognized, like, look at, life is too short. I don't need to fight these battles anymore. I don't need to go into this energy. I don't need to, whatever it is, right? And that's only going to resonate for some of you. But in general, I feel, again, that spirit is validating this transition, this self-reflection that you have spent this time, working on and allowing just to come through. I feel like for some of you, it's like a lack of resistance rather than, pushing through to find out who you truly are or whatever it is. It kind of feels like, again, you had a certain idealism. I don't know, whatever. I think that's the right word, in your mind. But because you've let that go, you're now starting to see a different viewpoint of the world. Okay. Second card. Yeah. 3 of Wands. You're starting to see more into the future. You can actually start to see, like I said, those manifestations starting to take place. Or maybe perhaps there's more optimism in regards to your manifestations because that, that resistance has dissipated in some way. So you're now starting to see like the beautiful possibilities that you could take or could have with this new outlook. All right, so let's look at that reflection. We've got the Page of Cups coming in. We've got the Temperance and the Empress. Yeah, a lot of self-nurturing. Again, a lot of inner looking. With that Temperance card, I really do feel like there's an energy when that Temperance comes through. I mean, this can really talk about patience, but it's also talking about more going with the flow. And again, I feel like that warrior energy has dissipated. I don't have to fight every fight. I don't need to do this. I don't need to pay attention to whatever this is. I don't need to gossip and talk about this. And when I talk about gossip, it doesn't mean in a mean way, but you might be focusing more on the issues of other people, or you may have been focusing on the issues of other people rather than, more self-reflection or whatever it is. You might have even to some degree judged other people for things that you're now starting to have a different realization on. You might be looking at them and going, you know what, maybe I really shouldn't talk, because this could be a quality that I have within myself too. And I feel like all of this is coming up to the surface now. But, because you've been brought to this place, you now understand, especially with that Empress energy, there is this element here that it's like a new sense of compassion towards others, but it's also a sense of compassion towards yourself. Because when we reduce or we release that need to have to fight or to be, again, this warrior type of energy, which is, but in the negative way, like that fighting fierce, I have to pay attention to, the negative, whatever it is. When we release that, we really start to see things from this whole new viewpoint, this whole new perspective coming in. So let's clarify that warrior. Yeah, you're just, like I said, you're releasing yourself. I feel like for some of you, you may have gone into this warrior type of energy or this fighter type of energy because there was some sort of fear in you. So it almost felt like if I allow myself to go inwards and if I really take a look at myself, am I going to really like what I see? Okay. But here's the thing. Now that you have, you're recognizing that beautiful Empress energy. And again, this doesn't have to be with just feminines. It can be with masculine energy as well, male or female, but you're releasing that. You're starting to actually balance that masculine and feminine energy. All right. Again, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, but you're starting to have this balance, this different flow. You're starting to value both the compassion part of your compassionate side of yourself and the strength, okay, that you have inside of you. We've got the star coming in, and look at, I was literally just talking about the strength, right? You're balancing the strength out, and because of that, you're starting to see different I don't want to say just perspective. It's like you're looking at things in a more optimistic way now. You know, things that maybe you held yourself back from before. You're starting to look at it and go, you know, I could do this, or I can allow this, or I can have forgiveness towards this, or, you know, I can, whatever it is, you know, whatever, you know, that I can now. And it really is showing within this energy, and I love it. It's like I'm literally hearing the transition hit deep. Whatever caused or whatever created that transition, whatever it was, you know, maybe if, you know, for some it might have been an actual physical death of, you know, somebody close to you. It might have even just been, you know, some sort of, you know, this kind of represents, you know, the call of the angels, right? Whatever that energy was, for some reason it hit deep, and it feels like, you know, I think if some of you looked back at yourselves over the last few months, you have to give yourself credit for the amount of strength and the amount of change that you've allowed to be presented right now. Okay? Being in this different energy, being in this different personification. It's like that's your true personification coming through. And I feel like for some of you, you might have been holding it back for so long that, again, if you were to look back at yourself, you know, 3 months, maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it was, you might be going, oh my God, like, look how much I actually evolved. And I think that that's beautiful. So let's take a look at relationships and see what's coming in. See what relationships. So we're going to pull 3 cards from the Romance Angels, and then we're going to be clarifying. All right. Relationships for our Cancers. First card. We have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I do feel that for some of you, this could have to do with that transition. Instead of being in this place of, you know, seriousness, or being in this place of holding back, maybe not allowing your true self to be, you know, shine through. Maybe perhaps even for some of you, you might have had your guard up so high that it was really hard to show this, you know, playfulness. And it just, it's like this is your true self. As I said before, your true self is starting to shine through. We also have here honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And we have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So we're going to get to some clarification. But I kind of feel, when I'm looking at these cards, the first thing I'm hearing is that I feel like through this transition that you went through, oh my gosh, I actually just heard and felt like there's so much happiness heading your way. This is what I feel. And, you know, when it does talk about your soulmate may differ from your usual type, even if you're with somebody at the current moment, or, you know, even perhaps if there's somebody that you're interested in, I kind of feel that because of your change in your perception and viewpoint and, you know, this transition that has happened, you might be even looking at this person and saying, wow, you know, these are qualities that I didn't recognize and realize in them. And I do feel that they're positive. It's almost as though you're being able to see them from, you know, different eyes, right? You're looking at them and going, geez, I was so focused in on me, or I was so focused in on, you know, other situations, that I can now really see the beauty in this person as well. And I feel like this is vice versa for many of you. Now, again, this isn't going to resonate with everybody. And if this person maybe perhaps isn't in your life at this current moment, this may be changing, especially because you're now opening up and you're allowing this different energy to resonate from you. All right. So let's get the clarification for playfulness. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, new things. It almost feels like, too, there could be some forgiveness that has come in. Or again, maybe not looking at things in such a serious way, right? Looking at things in a more open nature in some way. It's more grounded nature is what I'm also getting. We also have the Emperor coming through with the Three of Pentacles. It's like you're now in a place to be able to cooperate with people. I feel like for some of you, you might have been in this place where you wanted to be in charge, all right? Or you may have, you know, if things didn't go the way that you particularly wanted them to go, you might have cut off the energy. Now, remember that this can also be reversed, all right? So this might be the energy from your person, or, you know, your perspective person, whatever it is. But I'm really getting that this is more for you. It's kind of like now that you've allowed yourself to release the reins of how things are going to go, or how things are, you know, supposed to be, or whatever it is. You're kind of just going with that flow a little bit more. And again, the balance of that masculine and feminine, you don't have to be in that, you know, either this or this. You've been able to balance it. So you've been able to allow somebody else to also have their balance within the masculine and then the feminine. All right. Especially if you're a feminine, you're not expecting them to be just masculine. You're learning how to stand up for yourself. You're learning how to, you know, whatever it is. Or again, it could be, you know, vice versa, whatever it is, however that resonates with you. But there's more balance now. So you can be both masculine and feminine. Feminine when needed, masculine when needed. And there's a different sense of cooperation that's coming through here as well. Let's take a look at that honeymoon. The Two of Pentacles. We've got the Tower. And the King of Pentacles. Let's clarify that Tower. Yeah, we've got the Justice coming in. The Three of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like, especially for those Cancers that are very independent, or that you've always, you know, felt like you had to rely upon yourself. And for some of you, this could have been a sense of control. All right. Especially with that Emperor that's coming through. This may have been some sort of sense of control where you kind of just took charge and took, you know, care of a situation. If, you know, the finances needed to be done, you did it. If something needed to be done, you did it. It's almost like you took control, but in that same extent, because of taking control, or, you know, wanting to be in charge, or being the leader within a relationship in some way, it didn't really allow you that playfulness, that true spirit to come out. I do have that sense of, this Three of Swords coming through, this sense of sadness. And I almost feel that for some of you, you might have even been in that place where it's just easier. You might have thought, oh, it's just easier to be single. It's just easier to, do this. It's almost like you didn't have the faith in other people or other people around you before. But because, again, that balance is coming through, especially with this Justice card, some of you might have even learned a lesson because of this. You might have even literally had somebody say to you, look at, you know what, let's balance this out. Let's work in cooperation. And you might have been resistant, because of that, or maybe perhaps you let it, you allowed that balance to come in, but then, if somebody wasn't performing right to your expectations, you might have taken charge again. Right? And again, this could be reversed as well. But I'm kind of feeling like for some of you, there was a lesson that was learned here. And it might have been a tough lesson. Somebody might have walked away simply because of that, lack of cooperation, I guess, or that lack of allowing somebody else to also be themselves. Because we do have that keep an open mind, right? Keep an open mind. So it feels like you also needed to let somebody else be who they were, or, allow them to express themselves in the way that they wanted to. It may not be your way, but you're open now. You're open to listening, even if it's a way that, isn't perfect for you. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Let's take a look at that, keep an open mind. So we have this Page of Wands coming through. Yeah, Two of Cups. And the Ace of Pentacles. What amazing energy. Because you've opened up your mind. Because you've opened up. It's like your soul has opened up. All right? And I keep getting this image of your soul literally like bursting through and showing you that you don't always need to be in that guarded warrior type of energy, that it doesn't mean that you were lacking compassion. It doesn't mean that you were restricted or anything like that. It's just saying that not everything may have been the way that you had wanted it to go, or you didn't really allow people to express themselves. Or maybe for some of you, you take charge of a conversation, or you take charge of, whatever it is, job, maybe perhaps for some of you, maybe the household, maybe, but you're opening up now. You're letting some of this energy be released, and you're allowing others to really express themselves and show you who they are. And because of that, we have this beautiful stability and new beginnings that are coming through. It's really showing this partnership, like it's a true partnership, rather than it being a one-sided relationship in some ways. Because when we get into this place of taking charge, or we're in this place of always trying to control something, right, we're not allowing a true partnership to come through. We may think it's a partnership, but at some point people get, they get tired of not, having that participation, that back and forth true participation. But somehow your playfulness, again, is opening. It's showing. Your true soul is showing. And because of that, somebody, and again, if you don't have somebody in your life, I feel that through this opening, you're going to allow this partnership to to truly show itself. Like you're going to be able to manifest and bring this person through in some way. All right. I feel like for many of you, though, there may be a person around you, and you may have been holding yourself back from pursuing this relationship, or maybe perhaps, they weren't exactly what you were hoping for, or somebody that you didn't actually see yourself with, okay? Maybe because of looks, maybe income, whatever it is. This doesn't mean that you're settling. You just maybe didn't really kind of look at them before, as there might have been romantic interest, but they weren't quite perfect, for what you were expecting. And it kind of feels like keep that open mind, because I do feel this relationship presenting itself if it hasn't already, or there's going to be a progression within the relationship in some way. All right. So let's get a closing message from Spirit and see what's coming through. Closing message from Spirit. All right. First card. Giving birth. I am bringing forth new and dynamic energy into the world. That's exactly it. It's that transition. And it's interesting because we had those two death cards, right? One right after the next. What is it? It's rebirth. Rebirth is what the transition or the death represents. It represents rebirth. And this is exactly what you're doing. You're rebirthing a new energy. Beautiful. And simplify your life. I cherish the simple pleasures in life. And I do feel it's like something happened, or there was a change within the energy. For some of you, it may have been, as I said before, that actual physical death of somebody. But you're now looking at things in a new perspective. And this is beautiful because through that beauty of that energy being able to, show itself and be birthed into the world, you're going to really start seeing the changes, the manifestations that you want to bring forward. And I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for watching, Cancers. I truly appreciate it. If this reading has resonated with you, please click like, please subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell as well. This way you are notified when we do go live here on the channel, and it is for our subscribers if you do want a free reading. So have an amazing week. Take care and many blessings.